Hello everyone, welcome back to another Farm Fact Friday. Here we are in April already. The weather is getting much nicer here in Northwest Ohio, and if you have been anywhere in the country, you may have seen some movement in the fields lately. So today I want to talk a little bit about avoiding distractions. If you already know, maybe you don't, the month of April is Distracted Driving Awareness Month. So as important as it is for all of us who are on the roads and behind the wheel, avoiding distractions is always important. So when it comes time for April, that's always something that we would like to remind people of, as you get behind the wheel, the responsibility that you have as a driver and being a defensive driver with other drivers on the road. That being said, along with avoiding distractions, the other thing that's important is this time of year is also when farmers start to get in the fields and the equipment starts to show up on the roadways so that we can get from field to field. So I think the timing of both of these is impeccable and a great reminder as we get into spring, just to bring to light some statistics as it relates to distracted driving and just bring some attention to this so that we can be more mindful and make the roadways much more safer. So when we're thinking about distractions and driving, in 2009, distracted driving resulted in 400,000 injuries per year. That's a lot of things happening on the roadways in 1 year, and over 3,000 people were killed due to distracted driving. So these distractions can be of a multitude of things. More recently, we probably think of texting right away, as it is a huge distraction. And I want to talk about the 4 different categories of distractions. And as I go through these, I want you to think whether or not texting specifically checks off that box or not. So the 4 categories of distractions, the first one is visual. So if we have anything that, obscures our vision or changes, our line of sight, that certainly can be a distraction. So let's take texting. If you are looking down at something and your eyes are not on the roadway, that's a visual distraction. Specifically, when you do this, if you look down just for 5 seconds, going a speed of 55 to 60, you've roughly gone the length of a football field being blindfolded. So think to the last football game you were at or that you watched on TV. That is a significant amount of distance that, since we're talking about farm, a tractor could pull out in front of, or a tractor could be going slow ahead of you. You could be coming up on someone with their flashers on, could be a sudden turn. There's all kinds of things that within the length of a football field, you're not prepared to react to that. The second category is auditory. So things that you're listening to, could be something maybe on the radio or something being played, in the back, like a video, anything that's auditory that you're listening to that may distract you. This could also be, if you're talking on the cell phone, that conversation that you're having back and forth. So that's the second one. Third one is anything manual. So things that you're operating besides with your hands on the wheel. So again, we go back to texting and the fact that your hands are manually maybe typing the keys so that you can send that text message. And then finally, the last one is cognitive. So while it's not something physically that you're doing, it may be something that you're thinking. For farming, it may be, what do I need to get done next? What field am I, or maybe there's a breakdown situation that you have to try to go through all of the steps of how we're going to get this fixed so we can get up and operating once again. So 4 distractions: visual, auditory, manual, and cognitive. So all of those types are distractions, and if you agree with me, texting checks all of those boxes. So like I said, distractions can be more than just texting, but texting comes to mind. We are a world where our attention span is very short, but when we are behind the wheel, we have a very important responsibility to be responsible drivers. And since we don't know what other drivers are doing behind the wheel, we need to be defensive drivers as well. So, you know, we all have a responsibility here, including us, you know, in the country and farming, but just another kind of public service announcement as well too. Please be patient in the country. Our job we do not want to be on the roadways. Our goal is to be in the fields, but the roadways allow us to get from field to field. So if you have, you know, just take a deep breath, have some patience. If you can throw on your flashers, do that. If there's, you know, a possible roadway coming up, maybe wait to see where that farm machinery is going before you're quick to speed around that. So lots of family and friends in the farm community that appreciate in advance the time and the patience that you'll take, especially as we start to get into the field. So one last thing to remember is that distracted driving kills 9 people per day, and we don't want you to be a statistic. So please put your phone down, use whatever it is that helps prevent you from looking at that phone, whether it be connected to your Bluetooth in your vehicle. Make sure that notifications are turned off at that time. Make it a responsibility within your vehicle that if someone sees you on your phone or doing something that's distracting, that you call each other out on it, because that text that says okay does not matter if you're not going to make it to your destination safely. So put the phone down, arrive alive. We want this to be a safe farming season for everyone, but more importantly, beyond farming, we just want the roadways to be safe in general, so that our families can have the most amount of days with one another. So with that, you guys have a great rest of your Friday, a wonderful weekend. Be careful out there, watch out for your farmers, and take care. See you later.